You're listening to episode 113 of Lifestyle Locker Radio with Dr. Louise Swartswalte.
That we need help with sometimes, especially when we get stuck in our business. So I'm really good at releasing blocks. Okay, like blocks to success, and can figure out that there's things that started at age 6 or something with your great grandparents or whatever. And so it's called brain soul balancing. And we can release blocks that are very deep, that have been keeping you stuck, that maybe you're not getting to with straight NLP or EFT tapping or another process maybe that you're using. It's just a little deeper.
Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Hant, and welcome to Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we help you create an awesome life and lifestyle. From nutrition to fitness, mindfulness to peak performance, and relationships to money mindset, we bring you on an amazing journey to help you unleash your human potential. Hey everybody, before I read Dr. Louise Swartswalter's bio, let me share a little bit about what's going to happen in this episode. It's actually a pretty cool, unusual episode. I hope you do enjoy it, but I actually get a really cool session with her that's actually happening. It happened live on our call, and you're going to hear through it. So I want you to do this. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. But if you're sitting around and listening as we go through some of the process, you just listen into what she's saying. Close your eyes and visualize. This woman is intelligent. She's smart. She's very intuitive and quite amazing, by the way. So here's a little bit about her before we dive in. So for over 20 years, Dr. Louise Swartswalte has been helping transform lives individually and in groups using a unique multidimensional approach, including naturopathy, biofeedback, trauma release work, NLP, life coaching, and energy work. Louise is the owner and founder of the Albuquerque Natural Health Center and a creator of the Brain System, a 5-step healing program serving clients worldwide. She is passionate about connecting, clearing blocks to success, and helping others achieve their optimal health and highest potential. Using a combination of tools, Louise has helped people move from anxiety to calm in one session. Dr. Swartswalter's unique multi-dimensional approach has helped 45,000 clients in the last 20 years reach success in their lives. That's a lot of people. Louise's passion is cracking difficult cases. Here's a quote for you. Louise finds the things in me no one else finds. You know, one client told her, and you know, that's one session felt like 16 years of therapy. That's crazy. While another said, she saved my life. So Dr. Louise has enjoyed speaking and teaching globally and has shared with audiences on different TV stations in New Mexico, on radio stations, events and professional organizations. And should you want to schedule an event with her, we will have details on how to in the show notes. So without further ado, here is our guest today, Dr. Louise Swartswalte. Okay, everybody in the locker room today, we have Dr. Louise. She's got a really neat background, as you heard, and we're going to dive into her story because she's helping everybody that wants more, right? From business professionals to regular people, maybe like you and me. And so, Dr. Louise, welcome.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Josh. This is great.
Well, I'm excited. After, doing a little background search on you and then reading your bio, I was like, wow, this woman has a lot of really neat history, right? And I want to say the wellness world, but in the human world, from being a naturopathic doctor to studying biofeedback, and I want you to talk about that because some people may not even know what that is.
Okay.
And to NLP also, which I love, I think is great, but a lot of people may not even know what that is, and how you've come to create your brain system that you use today. Can you give us a little bit of a story?
Absolutely. So how this all started was just like a lot of people's journey. I got sick myself, and I had to heal myself. So I was a special education teacher, and I work with students and a lot of dyslexic students. So dyslexia, ADD, ADHD. And I would sit across the table from them and teach them how to read. And I was always intrigued by their, what they were thinking and why their brain power was different one day than the next. And then I got sick myself, and I ended up actually on oxygen for 3 years. So
Wow.
I was pretty sick, like I was dying. It wasn't just allergies. I had diagnoses from MS to chemical sensitivities to fibromyalgia. It's kind of like the path that people go down, and they're like looking at all the medical doctors for help,
Yeah.
and you don't find it there.
Yeah.
You just don't find it there. And then you got to go, okay, well, hey, it's in my hands. What am I going to do? So then you start down the alternative world. And so I found wonderful chiropractors, acupuncturists, spiritual healers, nutritionists. I found great people, osteopathic doctor that worked with me. And that was my journey, And so I learned a lot, had to heal myself. I had 2 little kids at home at the time. And so, we talk about, why do we do things, right? So my why was just to be a mom.
Perfect.
I just looked at my kids and I went, I just want to get my energy back and my brain power back. I had such chronic fatigue. And so that was my first why. And so that's what spurred me to go even further to do naturopathic school. So what I said to myself was, you know what? I know all this stuff because I had to do it for myself. Why don't I get the paper on the wall?
Yeah.
I still laugh about that now. I'm like,
Yeah.
So I did. I went and studied naturopathy, and then I got introduced to biofeedback. And the kind of biofeedback I use is more like neurobiofeedback, but bioresonance.
Okay.
So the programs I have resonate with your energy field and work on building your immune system through frequency.
Okay.
And it changes your DNA. DNA is really a photon light. So we could think of it like quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
So I started blending all that. And I really started my business in my house. In fact, my first clients were my students who I was teaching to read, write, and spell who were dyslexic.
Okay.
And then I put them on biofeedback. And there were times they'd even manipulate me, Dr. Josh. They'd be like, I can't read today. I have a headache. Will you put me on biofeedback? So that was the journey of beginning that whole thing. And then pretty soon they brought their parents and then their friends and neighbors. Neighbors came. And then I eventually opened my office, Albuquerque Natural Health Center. And that was, at least 12 years ago now.
Wow.
So
what a journey.
So that's how I got here. Yeah, I know. So that's how I got here. But, that was my biggest teacher. And it was such a gift because, I wouldn't be here today, even with you, and be able to help so many people on a deeper level if I hadn't gone through it myself.
Yeah. So I don't want to jump too far ahead, but with helping the students, actual school students that were, all of these different things, especially my wife's a speech language pathologist. So I get to hear stories of kids going through a lot of hard things and learning and in the special education world. What kind of things were you seeing results-wise with the kids?
Oh, you know what? Well, the program that I was involved in was a multisensory language program.
Okay.
So we would actually test kids with the Woodcock-Johnson reading test. Mm-hmm. And what would happen is within 6 months to a year, they would jump 2 grade levels in reading.
Oh, wow.
So it was, in fact, this is actually the story of how I developed my system, because what I saw with those kids to change their brain is we had to do what you say with what you hear, with what you write, with what you feel. And so to get them to get it in their brain, we did like skywriting in cursive. So this was like B, bat, B, T, table, T, A, apple, A. And then we put it together. B, A, T. Should remind you a little bit of what your wife does, right?
Yeah.
and so, we did that. And then what happened was they didn't have phonological processing ability. They couldn't connect the picture of what the B looked like with how to write it with the sound.
Okay.
So it was multisensory. Well, what I realized was on my own journey, I didn't have that help in my healing journey. I had to put all these pieces of the puzzle together. I had to go over here for my nutrition. I had to go over here for my structural body. I had to go over here to my spiritual guru, and I had to put it all together. So what I realized was we weren't doing that in healing. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I want it to be faster for people.
Okay.
And so I combined body, so that's all my naturopathic background.
Okay.
So the acronym is BRAIN.
Yes.
Spells brain. So it's body, and then we have to release all the mental chatter, the emotional baggage that's built up. So releasing, aligning with spirit. There's a spiritual component in all healing and health. Integrating it all, and then putting in the new program, how you want to show up now going forward. And so that's how my whole system came to be, was because I realized that those kids, the way to change their brain was multisensory or multidimensional, if you will.
Yeah.
And we're not doing that in health anywhere.
Yeah. So you go from students, or we'll say kids, and now you're working with like business entrepreneurs or just people in business. And what other types of people are you working with?
You know, a lot of practitioners too. A lot of practitioners want to learn my system. So chiropractors, psychologists, psychotherapists, coaches who also know, you know, on the entrepreneurial journey, when you work on yourself, it works on your business.
Yeah, of course.
When you change you notice changes in your business. And so, you know, the journey is that. It's the same thing, you know, we're all doing.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So with the systems you've had to learn, I'm saying had to learn to create your system, you went from helping children evolve from, you know, we'll say these sensory disorders to get better, to business people. How did you come to realize that may be, you know, to me in my head, I'm like, hold on, we're helping someone with something that's, you know, a school challenge or a life challenge, and then we have entrepreneurs over here, and even now practitioners are diving in because they're finding some value. But how do you go from student to that, to, you know, to the business person?
You know, it just evolved. It really did. You know, I've been in business in my office for 15 years, and you know, I still have clients I still have families that I work with. They become my family. You know, and so I've helped their kids grow up. I've helped some of those kids read, write, and spell. And then they became biofeedback, you know, natural health clients, and I've helped them with all of that. And then now it seems like I am attracting more of those entrepreneurs, more of those from masterminds I've been in, and people realizing that our natural, the place that we are in our own sort of spirit, body, mind, spirit, and our self-worth and confidence and everything that we're exuding comes from an inner place that we need help with sometimes, especially when we get stuck in our business. So I'm really good at releasing blocks. Okay, like blocks to success, and can figure out that there's things that started at age 6 or something with your great grandparents or whatever. And so it's called brain soul balancing. Okay. And we can release blocks that are very deep, that have been keeping you stuck, that maybe you're not getting to with straight NLP or EFT tapping or another process maybe that you're using. It's just a little deeper.
Okay, so what is, if you were to paint a picture of like what that is like for someone, that release, like paint the picture in words for me, because I'm kind of getting it, but I think this is bigger than I think it is.
It is bigger than you think it is, and it's really difficult to describe.
Okay.
Actually, can I demonstrate maybe?
Sure.
Let's just, okay, so let me get some paper. So what, if I was going to ask you what you wanted to have change or be different, could we use you as a surrogate maybe?
Sure.
Okay, so if we said, okay, Dr. Josh, where are you in your life right now? What would you want to have change or be different? And it could be anything.
Okay, I would say I want to have a bigger impact on the people that I communicate with through my podcast.
Okay, so this is bigger impact with your podcast. Okay, great goal. Awesome. Okay, so then we go, okay, who or what is pulling you away from having that bigger impact?
Who or what? Okay, who or what?
Okay.
Maybe it's, oh God, that's a good question.
And I'm gonna figure it out. So you don't even have to answer.
Okay.
Okay. I'm actually asking the question and using like medical intuition to figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. So I muscle test everything. So if your audience isn't familiar with kinesiology, it's a way of testing. And And so, do you know what kinesiology is?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I do it this way.
Okay.
So this is a yes, this is a no. This is a yes, this is a no.
Okay.
Okay?
So just so you all are seeing, we're going to paint the picture. She has her hands in a certain position, so it's
right.
And different cues, if you will. So
right.
Okay.
You know, so like if you went to a chiropractor and you got muscle tested, your chiropractor was testing you, they might have you put your arm out and they would gently push down while you hold your arm straight.
Yes.
And ask you to hold. And they would basically be calibrating, getting the nervous system connection to your muscles to get a yes and a no.
Yes.
So it's a way to test. It's a way to test for things, for products that might work on you. It's a way to test emotions. It's just a way to tap into your nervous system through your muscles.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what kinesiology is. And then I'm going to say, okay, who or what is blocking you from having that bigger impact? And I muscle test and I say, okay, how many people or situations? 1, 2, 3. So is there 3? So then I draw 3 strings out from that box.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So then I say, okay, who or what is blocking that? And then I say, is this a male or a female? There's a female in your energy field. So this is energy work.
Okay.
I call it brain soul balancing. And I say, okay, well, who or what is that female? Is this a family member? Yes. Is this your wife? It's probably your wife. Okay. And then it's actually just the power of the spoken word of the truth will set you free. So then I say, okay, do we need to know if this is a specific situation with your wife? No. Is it just words in the field? Yes. Is it just words in the field right now? Yes. So these are just words in the field that have to do with your wife right now. Okay. And if you're listening to this, you know, oftentimes people on the call will say, well, that cleared me too.
Yeah. Wow. And
it can, because everything is energy.
Okay? I love it.
It's kind of like quantum physics. Everything is energy.
Yeah.
And if your wife is you said she's a speech and language teacher? Yeah.
Yes.
So she's working with those kids that I love. Okay. So I got devastated and vulnerability and worry. So if those are her emotions, let's just say right now, and they could change. Maybe they're not even going to be that later today, but maybe she's working with a student right now.
Okay.
You know, and we just say
she is working now. Yes.
Okay. So we could say, so devastated, vulnerability, and worry. So how we clear the energy off of you are some pretty strong words, and they sound strong when you first say them. And I couldn't even do this when I first learned it, but they came from John 10:10 in the Bible.
Okay.
And so it's the brain-soul connection. So we say, okay, was her devastated vulnerability and worry, was that a liar, a thief, or a fraud on you making a bigger impact? And I got the word fraud, meaning it's really not your soul's truth for that to affect you making a bigger impact, you know? And then I say, well, what did it do? Did it kill, steal, or destroy something? And again, these are John 10:10 in the Bible. And I got steal. Stealing flexibility, endurance, and comfort. So it's stealing your flexibility, endurance, and comfort. Now what should happen as we go around the strings is you should feel lighter.
Yeah. I'm like thinking now as we go through.
In your listeners, and it'll be subtle, but sometimes you can see it in someone's face.
Yeah.
So I actually do before and after pictures because people feel different. And this is also a way I clear my field of all the clients I work with too.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Because I'm a sensitive empath, and I get their stuff. you know?
Yeah.
So we all do if we're working with people. So this is a male, female, or situation. The next one's a situation. Is it recent or old? It's an old situation. Is it something with Dr. Josh? Yes. Do we need to know what it is? Yes. Is it an old situation about you having a bigger impact? Yes. Is it recent? Old. So it's old. How old? Is it more than a week ago? Yes. Is it more than a month ago? No. So about 2 weeks ago, maybe. So it might be a situation with you about 2 weeks ago and had something to do with you making a bigger impact with your goals, with your podcast.
Okay. I did make a big decision a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did have a conversation about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it was a decision. Okay, a decision and a conversation. So let's just ask, okay, do we need to know what it was? No. Do we need to know the words about it? Yes. So again, we're just going to find the words. Now you might have some. What are you thinking right now? Are you any words coming up for you?
No, I'm just thinking, we'll say investing money.
Investing money. Okay.
It's in myself. It's not into like a thing, but
Okay, investing money in yourself. Okay, I got the word trapped. So see, that's why we have to clear this. Trapped. What else? Here. I'm dowsing a list of words, by the way. So for you who can't see right now, I have a cheat sheet of words on a list, and I'm just dowsing a list of words. So I got trapped, vulnerability, and stubborn. So is there another word we need to name? No. Do we get them all? Yes. Okay. So I don't know what that decision was about, but this could be your energy or maybe the energy of the person you were going to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in the field.
Okay.
Okay, it's in the field. And so that's a thief on you having this bigger impact. It's stealing your hope. Boy, I'm glad we're doing this. Your comfort to be given and your success. So what that really means is you're regaining comfort, hope, and success. It's like we're reclaiming those.
Okay. I like that.
Okay. So yeah. So that should help you with that. Actually, I should ask you, can I help you with that decision? Are you on a teeter-totter still about that decision?
No, I made the decision that day.
You made the decision. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, cool. All right, so we regain that. Yes. Okay, so there's another string here. Is this male, female, or situation? It's another situation. Is it recent or old? It's an old situation. Something with you? Yes. Something with you and family? No. You and a friend? No. You yourself. So this is something with you yourself. So is this something that we need to know what the situation is? No. Do we need to know the words about it? Yes. Is it recent or old? Old. How old? More than a week ago? No. It's pretty recent. 1, 2, 3. Something 3 days ago with yourself.
3 days ago. What day is today? I got to think about this now. 3 days ago.
Let's see. Today's Tuesday, right?
So it was Sunday.
Okay.
Right? Would it be Sunday? Yeah.
Sunday? Yep. So something on Sunday. So do we need to know what it is? No. Does Dr. Josh need to know what it is? Yeah, you just need to be holding it, and I'm going to get the words around it.
Okay, I'm thinking. Maybe I think I know what it is.
Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I got obsessive. So it might be something you were thinking about a lot. See? Yes. Okay. Worry. I don't know if there's another one or not. Let's see. So obsessive and worry. So let's ask, is there another word that I need to name? No. Is that it? Yes. So is the obsessive and the worry a liar or a thief? A thief on you making a bigger impact. What did it do? did it kill, steal, or destroy something? It destroyed your tolerance, spirituality, and self-trust. So did we regain tolerance, spirituality, and self-trust? Yes. Is that going to help you? Yes. Is there another word that I need to name with that? No. Do we get it? Okay. Is there another string or any situation or person that's affecting Josh from making a bigger impact with his podcast? I get no. Do you feel lighter?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it brought me through the whole process in my head just listening too.
Mm-hmm. So it's, my teacher always said to me, it's more about the question than the answer.
That's pretty neat.
So if we ask the right question, and you know what's really cool about this, that I'm still blown away myself by this process, is I didn't think I could teach it.
Okay.
Like, honestly, it's intuitive, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I mean, I guess I probably was intuitive as a kid, but I gained it from my own health path. When you have a crisis that way, it just pushes you in a whole direction, right? And I have people now who I'm teaching to do this, and they can do it just like I can.
Really?
And I can call them when I'm stuck, and they'll work on me.
Yeah, and you can sense when you have like that blockage or that like that feeling of being stuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can sense it, and I do think that we all have intuition. Mm-hmm. I just wrote a blog. It hasn't gone out yet on this, but we all have intuition, and so it's just developing it. It all can be developed even greater.
Oh wow, that's. I shouldn't say wow. I should say yes. I agree, because everything can change. Everything is. I think we're only using a little bits and pieces of the knowledge that we have about the universe. Mm-hmm. Talking about the quantum world, right?
Right. Right. Yep. So we're quantum beings, we're energetic beings, and we find, and I show people that pain starts in the field. So I do a muscle testing demonstration where I have someone put their arm out, I ask them if they have pain. We have somebody come up to the front of the room and we demonstrate, and I show them that the pain is not in their shoulder. They hold their shoulder when we muscle test, and I say the pain is here. And their arm goes weak, showing a no, the pain is not there. And then we put the hand farther out in the field, away maybe 6 inches from your shoulder, let's say, and we muscle test that, and the pain actually starts outside of where it is on and in your body.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to do the quantum field, and it's a great demo for how important energy work is in healing the physical body.
That's pretty. Have you come across any technology that not does the healing, but that can measure this effect? Like, I just think that would be really neat to see.
Yeah, there have been. There's been Kirlian photography cameras.
Yeah.
Will measure the field, and you'll be able to see it. See it in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can test that with technology. I use neurobiofeedback. So I have like 5 different. I was obsessed with these programs. All right. So I ended up like getting the next one.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I mean, like I could have a Porsche or something, but I got the next machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just my path, and so I'm obsessed with those. And what I see is a lot of the. I have like a date with your body. I can see physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually where you're at. And I can see if someone's been exposed to something too, like an environmental chemical or toxin, or they have a virus or bacteria, and work on changing it. And it all works long distance. So I have more long distance clients than in person now.
Okay.
So I can send it through the field the same way you can send a text message.
Okay. And so here's another question, because we're talking about the different levels or different layers of someone's health, from the physical portion to the spiritual portion to the nutritional portion. Do you find that with someone who may have a real poor a diet, just eating habits,
Mm-hmm.
that they're like their frequency, their vibration, they're harder to kind of crack, just because their tone of their body has to be very different.
Yes, that's a good question. So, I mean, obviously, as a naturopath, I'm going to hopefully help them
Yeah,
in, getting to a healthier diet,
yeah,
or a lot of people come in for weight loss reasons,
hmm,
possibly, and you start there and start changing their diet. But I will see that on biofeedback, yes, their vibration will be lower.
yeah,
So, we raise our vibration through sound healing, through light therapy, through biofeedback, through prayer, through Reiki, through the power of the spoken word, through music,
hmm, yeah,
through connecting.
yeah. It's really neat. And so when you're first starting with someone, I'm trying to think of some scenarios, but this is really interesting for me to kind of think in this direction. Do you start when you're starting with someone comes to you, is there one of those areas you start with, the body, the spirit, the nutrition, where do you start?
Yeah, good question. I start usually with the body. People are usually coming in for a physical problem.
Okay.
They're not digesting well. They've been diagnosed with Crohn's disease. They have colitis. They have fibromyalgia. They have a thyroid issue. Their thyroid's all wacky. So they're coming in for a physical problem, and then they often find out that their physical problem also is emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Yeah.
several techniques that I use, and different releasing techniques to release the old energy.
Yes.
I did just one with you now. And so we have to work on all those levels, but definitely we start with usually the physical body.
Okay. I always start with the physical, and then next is you said, would it be spiritual, or would it
It's
be?
both kind of, because they overlap. So I would
Okay.
say emotional, spiritual,
Okay.
it kind of depends on the person. And then I might do that demonstration so that they can see pain starts in the field,
Mm-hmm.
so that they start to understand energy work a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it opens their mind. And one of my really good clients, who actually helps me here in the office a little bit, is in my mastermind program now. And I was just asking her today. I said, so do you remember when you started? What we did when we started? And she was just like, yeah, he came in, and she said, it's like I felt different, but I didn't really know it was happening to me. So it was kind of good for me to hear those words. And she said, but I went out to dinner after my second session with you with my husband, and he looked at me and he was like, do you know that you look different now than you did in the morning?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he was able to notice it in her.
Yeah, and just another question. You got the wheels or the gears in my brain going now. Do you do anything with meditation?
Yes. So I often walk people through meditation, different meditations.
Okay.
I don't have CDs or anything like that, but I definitely do those in my retreats and in my boot
Okay.
camp. We do meditation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've found, just with my personal experience, and I spoke about this before in the podcast, is that I took a meditation course with Joe Dispenza. This is got to be maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And it was one of the, and I'm an endurance athlete. I'm, a fanatic when it comes to using my physical body. But when I started doing this, learning meditation and spending, 5, 6, 7 hours a day for days with him doing it, it was one of the most profound things I've ever done. Because
Awesome.
you're connecting to that. And people are like, well, how do you, it's all woo-woo. And I said, you have no idea until you actually experience it yourself. It may sound that way, but that's when I started to go, wow, energy really is everything, down to that atomic level.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great experience, huh?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And I use, obviously not your techniques, but I think for me, going beyond the physical into this quantum world has helped me do crazy endurance events where I can, I don't want to say disconnect from my body, but go beyond, and I just did an endurance event 2 weeks ago, which ended up being close to 60 miles.
Wow.
With, a 30-pound rucksack on my back. And I just interviewed my friend that I did it with a couple days ago. And he's like, yeah, you had so much energy through this whole thing. It was an overnight event where we should be sleep deprived and all of this stuff. and he was in the military, so was used to this stuff. And he goes, "You actually pulled me through," and it was pretty amazing because I thought he might be the one doing the pulling just because he's older than me, but nonetheless because of his experiences. But I think I was able to tap into that state at points when it got really hard, not knowing I was actually getting into, I don't even know what to call it, like almost a meditative state while I was doing the event.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah. So being the practice you did with Joe Dispenza and learning to be in that meditative state helped you as that endurance athlete.
Yeah. So the mind and the spirit and the quantum world translates through, which was cool. And I can see how people, just from what we just did for those 3 or 4 minutes, right? You're doing that enough. You're doing that, and beyond, obviously, with nutrition and all these things, how much of a huge impact that can actually have on someone's life.
Yes.
Forget their health. Yes. I mean, their life. Right?
Yes, it is. It's completely life transformation.
Yeah.
Because it helps you in your life, but it helps you in your world and in your business.
Yeah.
So Charlotte came to me and she's an acupuncturist and a veterinarian. Works with animals holistically, but also works as a veterinarian. And she didn't know if she wanted to stay in that field or be a writer. She's a great writer. And she got started with me, and her first thing that she wanted to do when we first started working was she said, I have genetic depression that's not going to go away. I was like, no way. You are you, So we cleared that in the first session because we did our whole brain system. We did the whole process.
Okay.
And then her life just completely started taking off after that. So she started her holistic health business with animals. She wrote 3 books this last year. She's #1 bestseller. I mean,
on fire.
She's just on fire. It changed her life, So it's about clearing those blocks and then putting in the new program going forward. And so that's what happened for her too. Yeah.
So what are some techniques or some things that people can do, like our audience could try to, or I hate the word try, but they can do today, tomorrow, that they may be able to start to retrain their brain?
Yeah, good question. I would say Mind Gems probably is a really good place to start. It's 12 little exercises. Let's see if I have the page. I do. Hang on a sec. Okay. So it's 12 little exercises that balance the brain.
And we're going to put the link for that, right? I'm going to share the link with this for everybody.
Yeah, share the link with you. But I know there's some people might be seeing some of this if you ever do that video. And so you hold each for 12 seconds, and so they're balancing the 12 what I call brain rings.
Okay.
The actual physical seeing rings. So, for example, putting your hand on top of your head brings you to present time.
Oh, okay.
And you hold it for 12 seconds.
Yeah.
And then we switch and we do the other hand.
Okay.
And usually when our mind is racing and we're like going too fast, this will kind of like, just kind of bring you down.
This is going to be one I'll be using pretty
regularly. And then as an athlete, balancing your polarity. So it's right hand over on left shoulder, left hand on right shoulder, and we're crossing midline. So we're balancing polarity. And it's kind of like balancing right and left brain. And, when I think about meditation and the practice that you did and how it helped you as an athlete, you were using sort of spiritual and physical body together, right?
Yes, totally.
You were balancing right and left hemisphere of your brain in a sense, because were you running?
No, I was rucking, which is a heavy weight. We were moving fast, but no running in this one, unfortunately. Fortunately, I should say.
Okay, but you're still crossing midline, right? Because you're moving.
Yes.
And so this crosses midline, so it helps balance the corpus callosum, the right and left brain. And when we can access our right and left brain, we can be more, do more, accomplish more. So when we think about right brain people, I might be very right brain. I'm highly intuitive. Left brain would be the accountant, the details.
Yeah.
That. And yet we all use those on a daily basis. And when you can access both of those sides of your brain, things flow better. It's just smoother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And when you're completely balanced, and so these mind gems, so we're going to put the link there for all of you. So it's just a free download on how to balance your brain. It takes under 5 minutes to do them. So I do them morning and night, and teach my clients to do them morning and night. Great for kids. In fact, for your wife, if she has all of her kids start doing these with speech and language therapy, they won't need as much speech and language therapy.
Wow. So it'll really help them start to...
It'll help them synchronize and probably get more out of the therapy that she's doing with them because it's balancing their brain.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, consider that done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool because it's simple.
Yeah. I think that's why my question was going to be, when do you do it? But you said morning and evening.
Yeah.
So very cool. I'm excited. This is really neat. This is, I think I don't know if I use the word therapy session, but right, I had a session, learn a lot. And so what are the best ways for the audience to connect with you? To learn more about the brain, the brain system and what you're doing now?
Yes. So, email or phone. And so my email is louise@louiseswartswalte.com. So, and my website is louiseswartswalte.com.
Yeah.
And then my phone number in the office, we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's 505-797-0540. So somebody here is answering the phone, so you'll talk to Guillermo or Wanda. And then I would love to connect with you because I love connection.
Yeah, this is great. So you're the first person to give a phone number, which I absolutely love. I knew you were a connector here, so this is great. So everybody, make sure you do head over to her website. All these details will be in the show notes, so you can connect with her, digitally. But if you were in her area, if you're listening and living near her and want to connect, I'm sure you can go knock on her door. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I love the connection with people. Yeah, I like the physical connection as much as the long distance. I like them both.
Yeah, of course.
I have to have both. Yeah.
Well, we're having a long distance one now, right?
Yeah, we are, and we didn't know we were doing a therapy session.
Yeah, no, I love it. So I just want to ask, I want to just cover two more things, because in your bio we mentioned NLP, and I know we mentioned the wording, and some people don't even really know what that is, and how it will help people, like how you're able to use it to actually help people go through this process. What makes it really special is a piece of the puzzle, and it stands for neuro-linguistic programming. So how would you describe how that would help some of your people? Because I think that's important, because they're gonna Google it, and I'd rather it come from your mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the kind of neuro-linguistic programming that I use is just a line of questioning.
Okay.
So, like, if I was going to ask you what you want to have happen going forward, and your goal might be, hey, I want to make a bigger impact with my podcast. I want to reach more people, help more people. I would ask you, okay, if you wanted to make a bigger impact with your podcast, what would you be allowing then you're not allowing now? How would that make you feel?
Okay.
What would you be telling yourself then you're not telling yourself now? So it's a line of questioning that allows you to get down to sort of nitty-gritty, more almost truth or spiritual goals.
Okay.
That help the person sort of solidify things on a level that they couldn't get to before.
Okay, so it's kind of like peeling layers of an onion, when they're getting down and deeper into the question, because they're going to maybe experience in their mind what you're asking.
Yes.
And kind of go through it. Okay.
Yes, and when we get to those feely places, a lot of stuff is about the emotion. So how would that make you feel? Would you be happier? Would you be more joyful? Would you be feeling satisfied and fulfilled? And so it's getting to that to the emotion and to that spiritual truth.
Okay. All right. Good. I wanted to make sure I wanted to say something about that I just forgot earlier to ask, because all of the things that you've studied and learned, you said you've studied too much, right? There's never too much, really, but you studied so much and learned so much, and we have this brain, this 5-step system. What's going to happen in 5 years with you? I mean, this system may be evolved into something totally different, right?
I actually don't know. I actually feel like it. more and more people are going to seek this out and look for answers for their own path, their own health, their own journey, if you will, and be looking for answers in ways that, when it's simplified that way, and they can get a very holistic program.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to go global. You know, I'm certifying people as coaches now, and I have a gentleman who goes back and forth to Japan who's teaching his mom. Oh, great. So I don't know if it's going to be in Japanese. I actually don't know. I just know that there's, like you, if I can have a bigger impact.
Yeah. That's
all. My mission is to change 1 million brains by 2020, and I think we're on the way. And if we can, continue to do that and help more people, that's the goal.
Well, I think you're doing a pretty solid job at getting the message out there, and I think the world does need more connection, right, with people like yourself, because we're a sick world.
Yeah,
and every part of the world, as far as mental, physical, spiritual, you name it. So I appreciate you for being a warrior in this movement.
And likewise, let me say that too. Yeah. Dr. Josh, you're doing a great job with your podcast. You are reaching millions of people, and making a bigger impact. You don't realize sometimes the trickle down. Yeah. Someone else is going to listen. They're going to go, "Oh, you got to hear this guy named Dr. Josh." You gotta hang out on his podcast. Yeah. And so I think you're doing a great service to people. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So everybody, make sure you get over to www.louiseswartswalte.com, and we are going to put the link to the Mind Gems. No, we didn't.
Yes, the
Mind Gems. The Mind Gems, and you're going to love it. And make sure you do these exercises. She does them morning and evening, so if you want to, copy a great, make sure you do them morning and evening. And thank you again. I want to make sure we get a lot of people over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, Locker Nation, I hope you did enjoy that episode, that interview, that conversation, the work that I had done on myself. My goodness, how cool is that? I know it was maybe a little woo-woo for some of you, but that was so cool. And it's amazing how she can connect. And this was through, video conferencing. She's just looking at me and talking to me over a microphone and headphones, and holy cow, powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. So if you want to find out more, if you want to dive a little deeper, make sure you do connect with Dr. Louise Swartswalte. All her details will be in the show notes. And make sure you do head over to lifestylelocker.com/Louise Swartswalte. And if you can't spell that, it will be in the show notes. Just scroll down either on your computer or on your phone, right? We use our phones, don't we? Right, most of us. Nonetheless, make sure you are doing that. And you can head over to facebook.com/Lifestyle Locker. Connect with me at Instagram at Dr. Josh, and you get to see what I do for fun and life. So nonetheless, have an awesome day, evening, night, wherever you are. Appreciate you all. Bye-bye.